I'm Elisabeth
And I'm Norman Singley.
and over the last couple of years we have been taking some steps to electrify our home. The biggest things we've done are, first thing we did was solar panels, then we got an electric car, and then we put a mini split heat pump in on our ADU project. So one of the biggest takeaways I've had with this is, one, just how much easier it was than I thought. Like, I found solar panels in particular kind of intimidating. You're like, I have to pick an inverter, and I don't know the difference between a megawatt and a kilowatt hour, and it like doesn't really matter. Your installer knows what that is, and they will tell you about it. Mm-hmm. And once you get it installed, it just works. You don't do anything. There's almost no maintenance. Once in a while we get up and like sweep the like things from the tree that fall onto it, but it just works, and it's there, and it's going to work for at least 25 years, if probably a lot longer than that. And then the other big takeaway is just like how much better some of these things are. Like, it's not just eco-friendly, it's not just cheaper. It's like driving the electric car is a way better experience than driving a gas car. Like, it's quieter, it doesn't smell, it accelerates faster. The braking is easier because you have regenerative braking. Like, everything is just like an upgrade. So this is our 2012 Nissan Leaf. We absolutely love it. It's an awesome around town car. A couple differences you might notice with an electric car is it has range instead of how much gas you have. And so there's like a little gas symbol with a plug on it. So you can see we've got 34 miles right now. That's because it's colder. You get a lot less in the winter than you do in the summertime. So you get like more than double that probably when it's warmer. But it tells us at 38 degrees that it's like too cold for it to handle. That said, we don't have any issues with it in the winter. Like, I'd say in summertime we charge it every other day, and in winter we just have to charge it every day. So we really wanted to get an electric car. We couldn't afford a newer one, unfortunately, but we found this one. It was like 10 years old at the time, and it was in Spokane, so we had to drive out to Spokane, and then my husband, Norman, brought it back on a U-Haul trailer because like there aren't enough charging stations in between here and there for a car this old to make it. Like, a newer one would not have an issue with that. So we use it for around town, and we drive it like 95% of the time. We still have our Subaru Outback for like when we go to the mountains or we need more space for whatever reason, but this is like very much our primary car.
Yeah, the other thing that can't be stressed enough is just the lack of ongoing maintenance that you're used to with a conventional car. I mean, you don't have to do oil changes. That adds up, of course. I mean, the only thing I've ever done is windshield washer fluid and top off coolant a little bit, but you can see the engine is just so clean. There's no oil spilled all over the place. We've only had this for 2 years, and we just drive it around town, but we still put 8,000 miles on it, and that's 8,000 miles we haven't put on our Outback, and we can calculate out the gas savings from that, and it's significant. It's probably almost 2 years ago now we finally decided that we were actually going to do the ADU, and we converted a 2-car garage into an ADU, a 1-bedroom apartment. And we decided to keep it all electric because we didn't want to run a gas line out there, and the associated costs and negative environmental impacts that would cause.
Our heat pump has been doing better than we thought. Like, we knew that we might have to use some supplemental heating out there when it's really cold. And 2 weeks ago it was like negative 30 overnight without wind chill. But the reports from my parents who live back there were that it was fine. Like, they had the heat pump running, and then they had some little space heaters that they used as needed, like not even 24/7, and it was very comfortable. I think one of the big lessons was to shop around, for sure. We have some great solar installers in town, and multiple people to talk to, and obviously like heating and cooling, all kinds of different companies, but not everybody is on the same level of acceptance yet, even in the professional world. Like, I've heard stories of some contractors just like don't really get what a heat pump is, and so they'll just sort of dissuade you because they're like, we want to sell the thing we know, but like you want somebody who's on board with it and like understands the benefits, so you can explain them to you and give you an accurate look at like what's it going to take for this particular space. And even with the solar, we talked to a couple different installers, and one of them did an analysis and was like, this isn't going to work on your house because we have this beautiful maple tree in the backyard that's super shady. And we were like, really? Like, there's nothing. What about the garage? And then we had talked to another guy, and he's like, totally, the garage is going to work, and it does. And so we're don't just talk to one, because you want to get kind of a breadth of experience.
Some of the stuff we've seen is, these beautiful brand new constructions, and everybody's starting from the ground up and doing everything right and really making everything perfect. But you don't have to do that. You can buy a 1960 something house in the heart of Missoula, and you can take concrete steps to reduce your use and to make it more environmentally friendly. You can do it. It's not that hard, and you don't have to do everything right away. You can plan for it, have the idea of doing a heat pump water heater, get the infrastructure in place for that, and make a plan so that when your existing one does go, you're ready to go. You have the research done, and you can get ready to swap that right in.
A lot of the electrification steps you can take an initial investment. Like, you have some upfront that you're going to have to put up for a long-term savings. Like with the solar panels, obviously there's the upfront cost of installation. We also had to replace the roof out there to like make it was old, so it was time. But so we did all that at the same time. And it will save us money in the long term with we're connected to the grid, so we're selling power back to Northwestern Energy, and we're getting a credit on our bill, and that pays off. I don't know, we haven't calculated, but it will pay off like way before the end of the life of those solar panels. Kind of the same thing with an electric car. Maintenance is almost no cost, and then the gas savings add up really fast. Same with the heat pump. Like, you're going to come out ahead with these investments, but you do have to put out the cash at first. So luckily, there's some federal tax credits and rebates available that helped us out. There was a state tax credit that helped with the solar panels. We have a low interest loan from Clearwater Credit Union for the solar panels, which actually the roof replacement cost was like rolled into that, so that was super nice. And there's some local incentives as well, like local rebates. So, it looks a little intimidating when you look at the sticker price, but you also have to look at what's out there, and then it actually becomes way less intimidating once you start subtracting all that stuff. One of the things I really like about these steps too is just like having our kids grow up this way. Like, this is just normal. Like, you plug your car in and you charge it with the sun. Isn't that awesome? And they're like well versed in that, and it's not going to be weird or scary to them. And the same with solar, and they notice. I mean, they'll like point out other electric cars on the street, like, hey mom, look. So we really love that. We're showing kids like a better way to be, and we're also showing them that we're doing our part for their future.